kicks in.
The Jews do rituals like that where they eat the doo-doo. The fact of the matter
Eat the doo-doo?
He urinated.
How do you know he urinated in this chapter number 2? What makes you think it's exclusive to a number 1?
After you pee? Oh, shit. That's it. Oh,
shit.
That doesn't make it any better, though.
It does. It does.
Because if you're going to be peeing around, back then they didn't have a toilet bowl, so it would be spilling all over the place.
Exactly.
No, it wouldn't because Muslims squat when they urinate. They don't stand up like you do.
They squatters? They not standers? Ah, shit, I heard it all. Nah. Gotta squat down and take a pee-pee.
Muslims don't stand up, piss all over their clothes like you Christians and Jews do. Why do you think the Jewish clothes are always stained? Their white shirts are always stained yellow. Why do you think the Jewish clothes always stained yellow? Now, why do you think you Christians always got prostate cancer? You don't wipe your asses and you don't wipe your fucking bladder hole.
Hello?
Women are the ones that squat the pee, man.
No. Once again, the uncivilized would think that, but no, actually both genders are.
Hello?
To urinate.
No, both genders are not.
Back to the woman, clearly not a fucking threat in any way. That's as he's turning around, face and trying to face the woman. That's when he gets pepper sprayed in the face, shoved, and then the ICE agent backs off, and then pepper sprays him again with his fucking back turned. Clearly not a fucking threat. Like you'd have to be an obsequious SS bootlicker to think that the ICE agent there was completely appropriate. That's the best way. He not only sprays him, he comes after him, puts his hand on him to where are you at? Let me spray you some more. It's completely fucking insane that any of you are defending it.
It was interesting too, is like from what I was talking about, the ICE lawyer in the hearing with the judge that she was having admitted that so many people are being detained. This is like in ICE. So many people are being detained without a semblance of lawful basis, right? So like that's another reason that it's become very difficult for them to respond to court orders, is because they have to keep inventing these like textual basis to explain the horribly egregious way in which they're like jackboot thugs have been going around and like arresting people and infringing on their rights.
This guy is like clearly just molding. Like he's clearly just molding. Anyone who has a semblance of a reasonable mind and isn't completely cooked will never go look at this video and go like, yeah, that's totally reasonable. Yeah, that's what the officer should have done, and he is in no way responsible for the ensuing commotion that happens.
Yeah, I think what Bob is talking about is the overzealous motherfuckers out there that are becoming
clearly fucking mad.
Yeah, look, we have.
Hello?
Watching this video again, it's completely obvious to me that none of this needed to happen. The ICE agent moved them off to the street, and then everything that happened after that was like completely unnecessary.
Hello?
But you can't make the jump that something must have happened before that. You just have to stop right
No, you can't.
No, I'm saying I'm watching this stuff before that. I'm saying
you'd have to. I would say one of the weirdest blunders I saw, at least from what I could see, is that generally you say gun as soon as you see a firearm. Now that agent that takes away the firearm, I didn't see him, at least from what I could see, communicate with the other officers that, I got his gun. Which I think if they would have known, if that communication would have occurred, and if there was an accidental discharge, and he would have said, "Oops, it's me," you could have stopped all of this. Now,
yeah, but the problem with that is the cop that was behind him that likely fired the first shot that hit him.
Yes,
his line of sight was directly in the path of the agent who removed the gun. He would have had to be blind to not see that the gun was removed.
Can I say something? Do you want your mind? I'm just giving you some advice. If somebody has a badge and a gun, don't get in their face. Just gotta back off.
Words of wisdom.
And just back up like 10 feet.
Comply or die.
That's very useful.
You can be 10 feet away from them. you can yell at them, you touch a little hole.
You would have been a great SS concentration camp.
But you could do all that stuff. You protest with signs. You can protest with signs. You can yell at them. But I just advise everybody in this room, don't go up into a law enforcement officer's face and start yelling at them. That's just what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. What that Britney guy did was especially fucking stupid. Like, I'm somebody who lives in a state where you can just conceal carry without a permit. I've had permits and all that. I don't really carry, but if I was to ever carry, the last fucking thing I would do is show up at a goddamn protest, especially if it was to protest the cops. And it's not just because if a scuffle happened, I might get shot. But if you commit a felony while armed, okay, what if they would have charged him with assault on a federal agent, it's a felony. Then they find out that you're armed. So you have a firearm in the commission of a crime. There's your aggravated sentencing right there.
It's just
everything about it is fucking stupid.
When you're in a car, when you're a vehicle trying to block traffic, and there's two officers with a gun, you might just.
Is there anyone else I can bring up from the audience who wants to make a completely irrelevant point?
Yeah, honestly. So why did Kristi Noem come out and say, like, the person was looking to do maximum damage?
Because she's a dumb bitch and it was propaganda.
I agree. I second that.
So you don't think that's a problem? That, like,
yeah, it's a problem.
No
that
reason.
stupid horse should not even be running.
Made up a pretextual.
Yes, yes, it was stupid.
It was stupid.
He had two fucking magazines for a common handgun. Which is not, it's not abnormal to carry two handguns. Which obviously does not mean you're trying to do a mass shooting.
An irresponsible.
The police officer carries more fucking magazines for his handgun. And so everything she said was absolute bullshit. She's a dumb fucking bitch. I mean, really, she should not be leading the Department of Homeland Security. I agree.
I second that.
Yeah, but okay. So,
I mean, this is a low bar, but I'll take it.
Yeah, but so then why are you if it's so obvious to you that the government is lying to you about the horrible the reason these flat-footed thugs are killing people in the inner cities, right? If the government's lying to you about that, does that not trigger you a little bit to think maybe they're
what should we tell the parents of these kids are dead because of illegal immigrants?
Or trying to mass kill police officers is because there's no justification.
What should you tell these parents of these kids that died?
They have to generate one.
What do you tell these parents of these kids that died because of illegal? What do you tell those parents?
The same thing that we tell the kids of parents who died from American citizens. I'm sorry that there are horrible people in the world that sometimes commit crimes that have mental illness, and I apologize. I'm sorry for that. Yeah. On behalf of the good of humanity, one of my most frustrating points is when people say, you don't go up and don't approach federal agents with guns. Like, yeah, okay, I get that, but hold on a second. It's almost like saying, don't go up and approach a bunch of criminals or a gang with guns, right? There's a big difference.
You don't do that.
Can I finish? If I land my point, I know I'm long-winded. I know I'm long-winded, but just bear with me. But the point is that one is supposed to be the federal agent of the one of the best countries in the world. We're supposed to have something called morals, okay? We're supposed to have some. We're not a bunch. Hold on. We're not a bunch of criminals, some gangs. We're not some foreign agency. We're citizens. Those are our people. That's our people. If we are telling you as a citizen, unless you believe you're above the law, once you put a fucking shiny tin fucking piece of shit on, excuse me, hold on, let me calm down. Once you put a thing on your, like a little badge on and a special uniform, okay, right? If you believe that once you put that on, you have some special privileges above the rest of us, I think that that's a big problem. You have to remember that we're here together. These aren't our enemies. We shouldn't be treating human beings like this. If part of our citizenry is coming out to say, hey, look, this is frustrating. Hold on, listen to me. That this is, well, then you don't get to say, I'm going to remove all accountability and I'm just going to be this pseudo-anonymous actor in this, and I'm just going to continue to act because I don't have any personal liability. You still have to understand that you're a citizen. This is us. We're your neighbors.
So what do you do with these people that are in this country illegally? Now, here's the deal. Let me finish. Give me 20 seconds. I'm not long-winded. I'm not 100% for Trump's policy. of immigration, deporting everybody that's here.
Why do you want to get rid of all the aliens?
God, okay, you're not going to let me finish, are you?
Why do you want to get rid of all the aliens?
Hold on, I can fucking answer that. Let him finish.
Give me 20 seconds. I am not for the policy of, if I was president for the day, I would say, if you're a minor, or been here since you're a minor, then here's your pathway to citizenship. I would say that generally, if you've ever committed a crime about a DWI or whatever, you got to go home. Everybody else, let's talk about a pathway to citizenship. That's what I would do. But here's the deal. I can't change what he's done, his half of his policy of taking everybody. In my opinion, he's not there yet. Anyways, that said, I've never seen, this is what I'm trying to say. But here's the deal. They're enforcing the law. Okay? I respect law enforcement. If I called 911 right now, a cop would be at my front fucking door, loaded with a gun and ready to save me if I was saying there's an armed robbery in here.
Yeah.
And if an illegal alien was in my backyard and committing a crime and whatever ICE would be, those fuckers are here to save our lives, to protect us. Now here's the deal, and I'll land here. If you don't like the law, if you don't like the way he's doing it, protest peacefully, and then go vote somebody else in 3 years. It's that simple.
Right.
It's not that big of a fucking deal.
Well, hold on, Matt. It is a big deal when you have people. You don't have there's like this sphere of time that you're supposed to say, okay, we're going to allow. Just wait for the next election, and for the next 4 years, we're just going to allow people to be violated, killed, murdered, whatever. Treated horrible, detained, F due process, F habeas corpus, forget all that. Just wait till the election. And then hold on, Matt, wait, hold on, wait.
Don't believe the bullshit, man.
Hold on. Wait. And then the best part is, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. If you still have a dominant force who's going to push whatever the dominant majority is going to be, then you're effed, man. Right? The best thing we've been. This is what's crazy, and this is how I know that the right has been completely hijacked by I don't even know. Right? 10 years ago, Republicans and conservatives. I mean, like I was protesting back during Tea Party days when conservatives would be armed to the teeth out. We would carry our AR-15s, be packed, running. Okay, listen. What happened to this civic duty? What happened to the civic duty? Well, this is what we're taught training in. When we do not allow the government to harm our people, this is us. This is what we're supposed to do, right? And so, as a federal agent, I would expect if you come into my city, right, which is happening right now. I just had my high school, 500 students. God bless them, walked out and protested in our streets, okay? The poor high school kids have to deal with this.
Fucking care about immigration. Do they really give a shit?
Absolutely. Our city has about 40% Hispanics. Okay, we have 40%. Whites are the minority in our city. Okay, yes, it's a very large city. But this is the point. The point is that if you come as a human being, okay, also part of the American society, the greatest country in the, we have the effing Bill of Rights, we have negatives, we have all of these moral codes, and we're supposed to be doing all these great things. And you come as a federal agent to uphold the Constitution into my city, and we're as citizens saying, hey, look, just so you know, there's violations that are going on, and we can you back down, right? There's enough of us.
No,
I'm not saying one person comes up. Hold on, Pepe, because the options are you push through like what's happening, and you create and you just start to be violent. What type of moral, sophisticated country is that going to? Listen, if you need to. What is so hard about fucking walking away or standing down until there's a negotiation with the mayor, with the governor, whoever, and the people can figure out what's going on? I mean, like, what's the biggest part? Your ego is that fucking big?
No, it's not that.
Stand the fuck down.
This is what you're not understanding. You're blaming the federal agents. Okay, the federal agents don't have anything to do with it. They have a fucking job. Look what they were doing only a year ago.
Problem.
But hold on. This is what you're missing.
That's the problem. You think that they
Oh,
don't? You
God.
think that they don't have agency? They do. This is what I meant
Oh yeah,
by it.
just starving their children. Yes, they had
retired.
ruining their whole retirement and their whole fucking career to just
My
negotiate.
bad. I forgot you could sell out for a $50K sign-on bonus. You're right. No,
No, I'm talking about a lot of these people. I don't think you realize it. I don't think you realize this. I don't think you realize this. First of all, just like the agents that shot Preddy, okay, they were Mexicans. Most of the, or I should say Mexican. Border Patrol has always been overwhelmingly Mexican American. Why? You have to serve your first 2 years on the southwestern border. Who lives along the southwestern border? Mexican Americans. What are they often bilingual? Yes. Do they want bilingual people? Yes. And so, like, these are people that
good people. My brothers are retired My brothers are retired federal law.
Sure, but hold on one second. But I just want to say this: like, these are people that a year ago, okay, they were doing is sitting there and just processing all of these people that were fucking invading our border. Do you think they were very unhappy about it? They were saying how unhappy they were about it, but they had to do it.
Pepe, let me elaborate on that. My brother's a retired federal law enforcement officer. He gives polygraph exams for federal law enforcement applicants, primarily the Border Patrol, or CBP, whatever you call it. And I will never forget, man. He's been retired for about 5 years now. I'll never forget. He called me one day. He had to go down he travels. He goes down to San Antonio, South Texas, and he was just talking to the higher ups of the Border Patrol. This is by administration. He said, Matt, it's such a joke down there that all they're doing is they're filling out some paperwork and they're just letting them in because there's so many people coming in.
That's what they did here. They stopped patrolling the border.
It's a joke. He said these Border Patrol agents, the upper echelon. It's like, why are we even here? It's stupid. Now that is a crime, and that's the reason why us Republicans are being libertarian is fucking angry right now.
And that's
the reason why I give Trump the benefit of the doubt is because this is what happens when you let 10 to 15 fucking million people cross the border. This is what happens.
And that is the other piece that I think she's kind of missing. So when you come here as an illegal immigrant, or you come here with your bogus fucking asylum claim, which they have acknowledged that over 95% of them are bogus. They would be considered largely economic migrants. But hey, if you're going to give them that option, they'll just go ahead and turn themselves in at the border and file for asylum. Or immigration courts are backed up. Maybe they'll see a judge in 7 years, or they just won't show up. It doesn't fucking matter. But they end up swarming our country with between 10 to 15 million of these people, and now the majority of Americans literally wanted the deportations to happen. Okay, and that's still the consensus to this day.
Is your problem
with the latest polling? And so they absolutely we have to clean up this mess. And I love how people love to sit here and say but the humanity. Look, they knew what the fuck they were doing when they were coming here. Most women, and that's the other thing. Almost all of the women that were coming across the border. Almost all of the women coming across the border. Yes, they did get raped. And so,
okay, let other people talk. You guys talk a lot.
They would have to literally bring condoms because it's part of the fucking journey.
Okay, great. That's really cool. So I'm making an economic case for migrants, right? I'm not making let's think about the morality of it, right? I don't think any of you understand why you're so against these immigrants that are not coming in legally, right? I don't think any of you.
I think I know more about it than you, honestly.
Okay.
You know what? Why are you
against illegal immigrants?
Me personally, I'm against largely legal and illegal immigrants. But that's a different story.
Why?
I'm for legal.
I personally have a different. I'm not a conservative. I think conservatives are cucks. But I think that I want to preserve the demographic makeup of America personally.
I'm for legal immigration.
Do any of you have a reasonable reason?
I'm for legal immigration.
Immigrants so much?
I'm really for legal immigration. I'm big time for
Okay,
legal
why do you
immigration.
hate illegal immigration so much?
No.
You gotta come here because you know what? The people have been here for 10 years trying to do this the right way. Guess who just got guess who just got in front of the line? We're cutting line. Come in here the right way. That's it. That's all I'm asking as a libertarian.
Yeah, but
I'm for a lot of immigration. Do it the right. Go home.
There's a lot of
Do it the right way.
the right way, and they still got detained and deported.
right, or but Matt too. This is the thing. We already know that our immigration policy is F. We have thousands of approved petitions that are just sitting backlogged. Okay, there are people that wait decades, 10, 15, 20 years to come into this country the right way. But if their category is fulfilled and the ruling elite says, "Oh no, sorry, you're not valuable enough to come to the country this year or next year or the year after," then they're just sitting there. We have thousands of approved people that aren't coming in. So this is the thing. What now?
Do they have a right to come here? Is that what you're getting at? Like, this is, I think, is absolutely bizarre. Most countries do not. They make it very fucking hard to become a goddamn citizen. But for whatever reason, you think that the United States should be one of these countries that we just like, oh, we're different. We should just let anybody and everybody.
We're only one of these dumb people to be talking at a time.
Yeah, but then why are you talking about?
We need people in this country. We're not reproducing enough people in this country. We need immigrants here. We need a lot.
You and Pepe are not necessarily.
Wait, can I just say one point?
Not with AI, we probably don't.
Pepe, hold on. I just want to say one point. So, like, when the fingers are pointed at, like, why don't Republicans want illegal immigrants here? That is, our focus is that our government did this on purpose, and they sold us out. And those people, Joe Biden, everyone that worked for Joe Biden's cabinet, that's the alternative.
Yeah, but the Republicans have been doing it too. The Republicans. This is where the conservatives are. That's why, like, conservatives, like the Cato Institute Republicans, they love cheap labor and they love undermining your old wages.
Evening. I'm John Kitover with Newsline. Good morning, Miss. A single stone makes the river sink.
Donut commercial is taking the internet by storm.
Hey guys, schedule says you're supposed to be at the mall in 10 minutes. My watch says it's 9:05. Rings. I left them right here on the call.
You have to be sent back. Like, why is there no fucking outrage for the Biden administration that put them in the fucking...
Because they're indoctrinated to believe that deporting is fascist and that enforcing the law is fascist. Oh, except for when it comes to January 6th. Kick in their door, send in a SWAT team, put them all in the gulag. 100 years, make them face the wall. You know, it's a puffy. It's fucking stupid.
Before I go, the most brilliant move of my lifetime, I'm 50, was when the greatest governor in the world, Governor Greg Abbott, started shipping these immigrants up to New York, up to Boston, to Chicago. That changed the game because we made it everybody else's problem and not ours. And that's when it got on there. But they'd be a hypocrite. Democrats would be a hypocrite if they got pissed off at Joe Biden.
Well, it's literally the reason why Eric Adams is out of office. Because when he was talking about sanctuary cities, he was on forward. But then when they started getting them by the busloads and he started saying that they were putting a strain on the system there, then all of a sudden, hey, this is unsustainable. This problem right here is untenable.
They basically wanted them to live with the brown people along the border like they always have.
It was then and only then that the Democrat Party decided, that's the end of the line for him. We got to get his ass the fuck up out of here because he is saying the quiet part out loud, something that all of us have been knowing for years. This situation is untenable. You can't sustain an economy like this. You can't sustain a city like this. You cannot sustain the country like this. And Eric Adams said the quiet part out loud. And this is what, hey, it's true. But
they took full advantage of the COVID-19 era. And I cannot.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Absolutely. You have a right. I didn't ask if you should or shouldn't. I asked if you're qualified to speak on it. What is your...
No, I would say you're qualified.
Hello? Hi, moderators. Put me in the queue.
You can cry about being qualified all you want. Like, that's your opinion. Like, if you think that I'm...
Off mute. I'm gonna mute you, Encore. And see, that's why
you really gotta come up here with your
they said bashing other women elevate yourself as a pick me.
Y'all talking at one time.
We got Barbara the Builder.
I'm like, who's
It pertains to the conversation.
What's an example?
Rubbing backs and rubbing feet. That's catered to you.
Yes, sir.
Wendy, I like your black nails. Too broke to break up.
Thank you, money. I appreciate it.
Oh, that's deep. Wake it up, the home.
It says
Broke to break up.
They say more Americans than ever are staying in relationships because they can't afford to be single. Get research.
Because they don't have there. They were there first.
They want to.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. They were there first.
Okay, have you ever
living there?
That wasn't promised. Have you ever read the Torah before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so then whose land is it?
I mean, that's your interpretation of a religious text. There's other religious texts out there, so other people are going to believe other things.
It's Jewish land. That's it. Okay. Thanks.
Olivia, you read the Torah?
Just because the Torah says that doesn't mean that's like everyone believes that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Olivia, you've read the Torah?
Yes, I've read the Torah.
You've read the whole Torah?
Yeah, I've read how, like what you're supposed to do when you capture a girl, and how you marry, the steps to marrying her when you capture a girl. Like, yes.
Okay, now look at this IRA terrorist support. I mean,
Yeah, I have read about how when you have sex with your wife, that like one of your parents is supposed to come and collect your period blood in a napkin and show the entire like society. Look, she was a virgin.
Now I'm understanding. Olivia, can I ask you something? Do you have a problem with Jewish people?
Oh, that's a
No, I don't. I actually don't.
You don't? Okay.
I actually like Jewish people.
Probably annoyed you don't like me. Sorry, Ruben.
But when it comes to this specific topic, like, you're being delusional. But I do like Jewish people in general, like in their personalities.
She likes Jewish people. She hates Palestinians.
So she likes Jewish people. She doesn't like Palestinians.
But what the Israeli government is doing is wrong, period. That's it.
I think you should get on social media.
And I don't know how you guys don't see that. I really don't.
Look, Olivia, we're not racist, okay? It's just that the Palestinians need to be moved out because they don't accept Israel.
I mean, you're a little racist against black people, even though you're black.
And what does that matter? That has nothing.
Well, then stop using like the fact that I'm quote unquote racist as like an argument when you yourself are racist against black people.
It's just a fact.
Like you've said it like a few times.
Yeah, I know, but it's a fact. Like you established that you don't like Palestinians. So
Olivia, Rowdy and I disagree.
There's an argument against me when you're fucking racist yourself.
Listen, Olivia, let's change the... Rowdy and I disagree on certain things, okay? He thinks that 99.9% of Palestinians are terrorists. I 100% disagree with that, but I will go as far as saying a very high percentage of Palestinians have been indoctrinated, and I feel bad for them. If you're a kid growing up under Hamas rule, even through UNRWA, and you're taught that Jews are your enemies and they should be killed, I feel kind of bad for them in a way. You know what I'm saying? Will you give me credit for that, Olivia? And would you agree with that statement, that they've been indoctrinated?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so on the Israeli side, on the Jewish side, they're not indoctrinated to hate their neighbors. No matter what you hear from the pro-Palestinian groups through the school system, it's the complete opposite. It's about, even through music, if you go and look at Israeli music,
the Israeli music scene. It's all about
You guys are all okay with the Palestinians in the West Bank? Like they don't.
You might think that once a tunnel.
They're not subjected to racism at all.
Because they're not citizens of Israel, so they need to go to Jordan.
What? Why not? Why aren't they? Even if they're
They're not citizens of Israel.
I recently
Why
found
not?
a cool app that
Because they're not. They're like Jordanians, so Jordan is their land.
No, they've been there for generations and generations. So why the
But you have to understand, Olivia,
They're Arabs.
And why wouldn't they get the same rights?
I'll say it again. This is a result of resistance. They have a right not to accept the Jewish state in the West Bank and Gaza. They have that right. But this is the consequence of that choice. If you don't want to live side by side with your neighbors and you want to eradicate them from the land, then Israel, the Jewish nation, will do whatever it takes to defend itself. Whatever it takes, Olivia. I don't understand what you don't get. I mean,
But
you
you
do whatever
don't
it
get
takes
it.
to defend
This is
your
the
family.
problem with that statement.
Lila,
You don't get it.
one
Is that
second.
this is
We're
not
talking-
defense,
Lila.
it's offense. That's what you
Lila,
don't get.
we're talking to Olivia at the moment. Sorry, Olivia, what did you say?
You're fighting people that don't even have shoes. That like don't have shoes.
But that's factually
Like that's who
incorrect.
you're defending yourself against.
But Olivia, that's factually incorrect. They have shoes.
They don't have shoes and they don't have food.
Right. So you're talking
So
about
yeah, like keep defending yourself against the big, scary,
this is not an argument.
malnutrition, starving Palestinians.
Gaza.
Scary. Defend yourself. This is why I think you're short. This is why I think you guys are just short and small.
Olivia,
No.
Olivia, are you referring now to are you referring now to Gaza? Because you brought up the West Bank. I responded to that, and now you're going back to Gaza. You keep jumping.
Here you
back
go
and forth.
again.
What are
Here
you
you go
talking about?
again. Being confused.
Well, I am confused by you.
I don't have time for that. You need to keep up with me.
I am confused by you.
You're fucking slow.
You brought up the West Bank. I responded to that. Then you jump back to Gaza. Which one do you want to talk about first? Gaza or the West Bank?
Can we not
It's an
jump
issue.
back and forth between like these like very like related concepts? Or is that too hard for your little brain to digest?
Hey, listen. If you want to keep this group peaceful and have a conversation, which is what we're trying to do, I'm happy to do that. If you want to insult me, then
I don't know why you can't, when I speak about the West Bank, that you can't talk about that. And when I speak about Gaza, you can't talk about that. I don't know how you can't separate them and then also see the similarities within them.
Olivia,
Like,
I'm the one who's happy. I am educated on the subject. I'm happy to talk about both.
I don't know if you are, because I think you're being fed like propaganda in Israel since you're.
First, who's first? By the way,
Go for it.
First name. Who is this?
You know.
Oh. Never mind. Continue.
Because my wife and I wanted to have an inexpensive nostalgic date night. I noticed it had gone downhill, so I looked it up out of curiosity. It turns out it had been acquired by private equity back in 2013 by a company known as Spoil. The prices seemed excessively high for a chain. It turns out in large cities, you can spend almost $10 for a single scoop of ice cream, and you can mix
I started talking directly about the
This is
war
even more absurd
and the defense. So are you on defense with the West Bank or are you on defense with Gaza? Can you keep up with that?
spread across 2 scoops of ice
It's not hard
cream.
for you
You
to
add it up, a
understand
single scoop
like which one I'm talking about. When I'm talking about the war directly versus the West Bank, but there's obviously like not that direct.
These excessively high prices
But just like in
monetized
football,
change.
the best type of
Keep this.
strong offense.
I can't deal with you guys. You're dumb.
No, I mean, isn't the best type of defense a strong offense? So yeah,
Slow.
preemptive strikes and terrorist populations are necessary.
Brian,
אני לדבר עברית.
את מדברת עם מי? סבתא?
כן.
יופי. יואל, יאללה, אחותי.
אנגלית בבקשה.
So, Brett, you mentioned something about neighbors living side by side. I don't think that argument is necessarily conclusive of the current resistance, especially because even prior to the establishment of Israel, there were over 600,000 Jews that were living in Palestine. Okay, British Mandate Palestine. And even after the Nakba,
about, you could say that in the Jewish quarter in Jerusalem, about 2,000 Jews were forcibly removed due to the extreme displacement that occurred from the Israeli occupation. So this isn't a matter of saying that, the resistance is stopping, Palestinians from living side by side with Israelis. It's the fact that Israelis never considered Palestinians their equals. That's the problem. Okay, when you have disproportionate rights, when you have a separate set of laws, when you treat a different group of people as second-class citizens, you can't live side by side them in equality, especially when you're discriminating against them. So
you're saying the 2 million Israeli.
I'm not talking about what's happening in Gaza. I'm just talking about what's happening in the West Bank right now. Gaza is a whole other topic.
2 million Israeli Arabs don't live as equal citizens in Israel. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that Palestinians, it's not Israeli Arabs, Palestinians.
Okay, let's call them for your sake. We'll call the 2 million Israeli Palestinians living in Israel. Do they live as equal citizens?
They do not.
They do not.
That's a lie.
They don't serve in government. They're not doctors, lawyers.
That's a full blast lie. That's a lie. You're part of the oppression Olympics. La 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 la.
Social media.
La 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 la. Why do you continue to lie on this ass? Why do you continue to lie?
Is inconclusive or doesn't really.
Lila, you're in the matrix. We're in the matrix.
So, can you hear me now? No. So, as I was saying, you acquiring a particular career is completely inadequacy of the actual knowledge. For example, Palestinians, the majority of them can go acquire a degree from someplace else, or they can acquire a medical degree from, let's say, university. They can acquire. Can I please finish?
Can Israeli citizens drive in the West Bank?
Can I please finish?
I'm going to prove you a point in 2 seconds and show how dumb you are.
Please finish what I'm trying
Can they
to say.
drive in the West Bank or Gaza?
Can I please finish?
And they are not.
So the very first thing, Brett.
Stop. You're saying a lot of words, but you don't say shit.
Interrupting me.
You're saying a lot of words, but you don't speak.
Brett, this is the government. Can they please mind your business and stop talking over me like a disrespected Olivia, stop 1 second, okay? So, Brett, what I'm trying to explain, and I would appreciate it if you moderate so I'm not interrupted.
The harbor store like this.
Alright, you can move down. Okay, so then mod your room then. So, as I was saying, okay, Palestinians acquiring a specific degree or a specific career is not a reflection of the laws of the land. Like, for example, Palestinians, they can acquire a degree from any university that's open to taking in Palestinians, whether it's Gaza University prior to genocide or Jerusalem University, So it really does not, that's not a reflection. Just because there's doctors, lawyers, engineers in Palestine and they're Palestinians, it doesn't mean that there's actual discrimination against Palestinians.
Surgery for a reason.
Yes.
That's right, I'm here.
It's still
There's no ceasefire, so the genocide is still occurring.
Speaking of Australia, some of the upper house today the October 7 attack, they were calling it a genocide before Israel even retaliated. So I don't put much weight on the statement. It's a genocide.
So, very first
Is there a genocide going on right now in Iraq? Is there a
very first thing that I want to mention.
What about the cowardice of
One second, please. So,
The very first thing, Brett, the problem with what you're saying is that there's a genocide right now because genocide scholars and genocide record organizations like Amnesty International, who, by the way, has also kept a record of Okay, but I keep getting interrupted, so if I get interrupted again, I like my time.
I know, but you keep explaining everybody interrupting you. 2 minutes
No, stop interrupting me, or I'm gonna keep So exactly.
Lila, go ahead, please.
Thank you. So the very first thing that I want to mention is that you're not using the word genocide because of the fact that it's in a news article or it's a certain news organization has released it. We are using the term genocide because it's a scholarly word that has been used by scholars to distinguish what is happening right now in Gaza. Okay? Amnesty International, the United Nations, so many organizations that keep track of genocides around the world have determined that this is a genocide. So it is a genocide, regardless of what your personal opinion is.
I have a question. Lila, you said I got a question. Is what happened in Iran over the last 2 weeks, is that a genocide?
No, it's a massacre.
I'm from Iran. First of all, I'm from Iran. It's a fucking genocide. And IRGC been supporting Palestinians for a while, for years, to fucking resist in front of Israel, which is wrong. And they've been stupid by doing that, giving Iranian money to these fucking Palestinian people to support themselves for some bullshit conflict.
Okay, but what about Raza Pahlavi? What about Raza Pahlavi, buddy? What about him? That cunt.
No fucking
like, shut up,
fucking Khomeini, no, none of them. Free Iranian people, they are not about none of these bullshit.
So when I think about genocide, I think about ethnic cleansing, and so I don't relate that term to the Iran.
Yeah, because you be talking about fucking genocide and y'all don't care about it.
That's just different.
What's going on?
Free Iran from the Zionist shackles.
Don't just care about people living in Palestine. Don't give a fuck about no actual genocide that is going on in the world.
Nobody is negating.
People have different ideology.
Nobody is negating that what's happening is wrong.
Let Ash finish. Lila,
What's happening in Iran is wrong. Like, we stand.
Ash, you got 30 seconds. Ash.
Oh my god.
You sound like you're on Mojo.
Ash, you got 30 seconds. Finish the sentence and then next
I'm done. I can't speak.
Okay, Olivia, what do you want to say then?
You're just getting like all hung up on terminology.
Okay, so you guys agree that what's happened in Iran over 1 week, 30 to 50,000 people being killed is a genocide?
No, I
Is
disagree.
that correct, Olivia? No, Lila, I didn't ask you. I know you already said you don't agree. Olivia, do you think what's happened in Iran is a genocide? You said yes.
So I just wouldn't get hung up. I just won't get hung up on that terminology because usually with genocide, I think of it synonymously with ethnic cleansing. And so I just think they're killing people of different political and religious ideology. So I don't know if genocide is the right.
Ash, 1 second.
It's some kind of side. It's some kind of side. Homicide. I don't know. When we look at different kinds of sides.
Okay, Olivia. I'm
It's some kind of murder, but again, the terminology is just dumb to focus on.
But you claimed it was happening in Israel. You said the IDF were blindly shooting people. But yeah, when it comes to Iran, on the street of Iran, don't you think the IRGC was just blindly shooting people? They weren't targeting individuals. They were just shooting a massive people.
So the IDF they're targeting a specific ethnic group and religious group. That's what they're targeting. The Iranian government is targeting its own people. Well, I guess you could say they have different religious views, so Again, genocide just. I usually focus on ethnicity when it comes to that. But again, that's stupid. They are murdering. Both is murder. That's it. Period.
Well, I would argue one is manslaughter, one is murder.
Bro, why is the Mossad dressing up like protesters and killing the other protesters? Why don't you guys ask
Jay, if you've got nothing factual to bring to the table, you're welcome to leave.
No, I mean, there are people in the U.S. Congress that have confirmed that, yeah, there are CIA and Mossad operatives.
Exactly.
They need support. You're a terrorist, you support the Iranian government, you support oppression, they be gone.
So no one's supporting the IRGC, but my question is...
You're an idiot. Like, a pastor just schooled you and you agreed with it.
No one is supporting the IRGC. No one is supporting the IRGC.
Listening to what he said.
Yo, listen. No one's supporting the IRGC.
The problem is you need to listen. Did you hear what he said?
Can you just listen to me? No one's supporting the fucking IRGC.
You're not listening. You're just talking. You're regurgitating, but you're not actually...
Bro, you sound like a fucking Zionist faggot, bro.
Oh my God. You talk with a list, bro. You're calling me a faggot. Like, that's a little weird.
Stop taking up audio and stop taking up time by trolling. It's annoying.
But no one's trolling.
You're trolling. You're trolling too, Ratty. Oh shit.
I'm not trolling. I'm saying in Mossad.
How are you doing? Hello, bro.
Yes.
Okay, I knew you were there.
Are you against the women of Iran?
Yeah, no one's supporting the IRGC, but why are you guys dressing up as Mossad protesters and killing other protesters? Alright, trying to up the fucking massacre. That's all I'm gonna say is that, Israel's laughing in your guys' face. Alright? You guys think you guys are fucking stupid? Alright? No one, the government's not taking you seriously. That's why it's not being toppled. Alright, the government's not taking it seriously. Reza Pahlavi is getting cocked by his own wife with his yoga trainer. Focus on that, goof.
Okay, but that doesn't make any difference. Like, the people of Iran need protection from their government.
Yo, and this that was so wrong. They just want to be free. They don't give a fuck.
God help us. Greg.
Yo, what up, Robbie? How you doing?
Greg, you don't look at your back channels? I've been sending you, crazy info. Brett.
Yeah, I'm listening.
It's me, DP, bro. You haven't seen your back channels?
Sorry, bro.
I was sending you back channels when you were in Amir's room, crazy, shit that you could have destroyed everybody. Go look, don't say nothing. Go look.
I'm in my back channel, man. I'm there.
Check message requests.
Israel.
Don't say nothing. What I say.
You're out.
I thought you were Ghost, man. Sorry, sir. I thought you were Ghost because... yeah, sorry. Can you send me again next time because I didn't know it was you.
Wait,
VIP. Yeah, I deleted it because I thought you were ghosted.
It's not deleted. It's still there.
It's not.
MJ, what you just said is incorrect. 90% of Reza Pahlavi supporters are not on the Epstein files. It's not true.
It's not there, sir. I deleted it.
All right. I'm sorry.
It's hidden. Sorry, dude. Now I know it's you. Lydia's gone? Okay. Oh, my God.
Yo.
Hey, introduction.
Yo.
Didi, me pregunto.
You said what?
No, sure, I was talking Bibi.
Oh, I love that halftime show. I loved it. I wish you knew Spanish. You would understand all of it. I wish you would have liked it.
Yeah, thanks for that first meeting. Thanks, man. I'll keep that up my sleeve. All right. Who do we have here? Sata, Abu, MJ, who's not qualified. Sata. Israelית?
כן,
Fuck Israel.
Bro, she's Lebanese, man.
לא, שקרנית.
But she's amazing.
שקרן, אני יהודים.
זה לא יודע. Why?
She said, I'm a Yehudi.
Yeah, she makes her pop stars do pop music, which is what people want.
Voila.
Dude, you know what amazing, bro. You know what would work in some K-pop. Yeah, with the biggest K-pop out there, people would actually like
Super Bowl was pretty good, man.
Americans like K-pop.
Yeah. Because
I can't stand it,
actually, especially
I really can't stand watching it.
the crowd loves K-pop.
Why?
It's just stop. You know, we've got rugby league coming to Las Vegas. Australian rugby league coming next week or the week after that. Now that's a game to watch.
I'm gonna go back to watching it, and I'll see you.
So long. Well, everybody, thank you for being here. And I hope everybody has a wonderful night, morning, afternoon.
See you, Ruben. We'll chat again.
Later.
Yes. We'll chat again.
Yeah, we will. All right, guys. Check out. See you first.
See you later. And Israel is here to stay, and no amount of courts, boycotts, sanctions, debates, shows will change it. Am Yisrael Chai. Just so you know, everybody.
Tattoos, bad tattoos, tattoos in the wrong area, whatever.